In the world of pop music, first impressions can make or break an artist. Before some of today's biggest stars, their debut singles did not quite take off, but they still became megastars. In this video, we'll look at 10 pop stars whose debut single flopped. Ariana Grande. When Ariana Grande, now one of pop's most influential voices, released her debut single Put Your Hearts Up in 2011, she was still finding her footing in the music industry. Known mostly for her role as Cat on Nickelodeon's Victorious, the young star was aiming to cross over from acting to music. However, Put Your Hearts Up didn't quite hit the mark. It was heavily bubblegum pop, as she was still trying to find her sound. The single did not resonate on the charts, failing to break into the Billboard Hot 100 and barely making a dent in the mainstream. Years later, Ari even admitted that she wasn't proud of the song, and even explaining that it didn't reflect who she truly was as an artist. Ironically, the lukewarm reception may have pushed her to explore her authentic voice, leading to her latter widely successful singles like The Way and Problem. Dua Lipa. Before Dua Lipa became a household name, with hits like New Rules and Levitating, she struggled with her debut single New Love, which dropped in 2015. It was a track with a soul-influenced pop sound, showing off her unique husky voice for the first time. However, the single did not capture mainstream attention, as it did not chart on the Billboard Hot 100. It also failed to make a significant impact in her home country, in the UK. This early flop may have discouraged any newcomer, but Dua Lipa pressed on, developing her craft and refining her sound. Her persistence paid off when Be The One and Hotter Than Hell gained traction, ultimately leading her to New Rules, the song that skyrocketed her into international stardom. New Love was a stepping stone that helped her build the confidence and direction she needed to become a global sensation. Beyonce. It might be surprising to learn that Beyonce, the queen of pop herself, did not have an explosive debut as a solo artist. In 2002, fresh off her career with Destiny's Child, she released Work It Out as her debut solo single. Featured on the Austin Powers Goldmember soundtrack, the song had a retro funk vibe, blending elements of soul and R&B with a dash of James Brown influence. Despite Beyonce's powerful vocals and charisma, Work It Out struggled on the charts. In the US, it didn't make the Billboard Hot 100, and in the UK, it managed to peak at number 7. Though the song received some attention overseas, it was largely considered underwhelming. Beyonce's career took a dramatic turn with Crazy in Love, the song that would define her as a solo artist and mark the beginning of her reign as one of the most influential figures in music. Selena Gomez. Before her chart-topping hits, Selena Gomez's musical career started with a fizzle. In 2008, she released Tell Me Something I Don't Know for the Another Cinderella Story soundtrack. Although she was already well known from her role on Wizards of Waverly Place, her music career didn't take off as quickly as expected. The single did not chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and had a lukewarm response, limiting her initial crossover into music. The song might have fallen short on the charts, but it was the beginning of her evolution as a pop artist. She continued releasing music, building her brand and eventually achieving commercial success with Selena Gomez in the scene, before moving on to a solo career. Songs like Come and Get It and Hands to Myself finally brought her into the spotlight as a pop singer, proving that the early flops didn't define her career. Doja Cat. Doja Cat's first single, So High, did not exactly light up the charts. Released independently in 2014, the song featured Doja's laid-back flow over a trippy beat. It was released in her weedhead days, which inspired her name, as Doja is another name for weed. While the song did find some love on SoundCloud, it failed to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and was essentially a blip on the radar compared to her latter hits. In fact, Doja remained under the radar until she went viral in 2018 with the meme-driven track Moo. With the massive success of her 2019 album Hot Pink, featuring hits like Say So, she finally made her mainstream breakthrough. So High might not have made it big, but it served as a starting point for an artist who would go on to dominate the charts. Halsey. Halsey's debut single Ghost was initially met with muted response when she uploaded it to SoundCloud in 2014. Though it quickly gained traction online, the song did not chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and struggled to break into the mainstream. However, Halsey's unique sound and Tumblr aesthetics gained her a dedicated fan base almost overnight. This early support helped her sign with a label, which re-released Ghost on her debut EP Room 93, giving it a second chance to gain some traction. While the single didn't achieve traditional chart success, it has now been certified platinum in the US. The song laid the groundwork for Halsey's breakthrough into the mainstream with her 2015 album Badlands and her feature on the Chainsmokers' smash hit Close Her. Nicki Minaj. Before she solidified her spot in rap history, Nicki Minaj's first single, Massive Attack, was a surprising flop. Released in 2010 and featuring Sean Garrett, this single aimed to present Nicki as a fierce, genre-bending rapper. It was also released with a relatively high-budget music video, but it barely made a dent, failing to crack the Billboard Hot 100 entirely and quickly fading from radio playlists. Critically, the song wasn't received well, with listeners finding the song's chaotic beat and unorthodox style confusing. In the end, the song was pulled from Nicki's debut album Pink Friday. When she followed up with Your Love later that year, she finally began gaining mainstream recognition. She then followed that up with a string of hits, and Super Bass launched her to superstardom. Usher. Usher's career has been marked by R&B classics and multi-platinum hits, but his first single, Call Me a Mac, did not come close to the success of his later work. Released in 1993, when Usher was just 14 years old, it was part of the Poetic Justice soundtrack. The song, which showcased the young singer's smooth voice, did not make an impact on the Billboard Hot 100, with little promotion and limited radio play, and went unnoticed by the public. Usher took the experience as a learning opportunity, refining his style and working with top producers to develop a more mature R&B sound. His breakthrough came with You Make Me Wanna in 1997, which hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and solidified him as a major R&B artist. Today, Usher's impressive discography and influence on the genre have made Call Me a Mac a distant memory, overshadowed by his many iconic hits. SZA. Before SZA became a bona fide star by the end of the 2010s, she dropped her little-known debut single Country back in 2012. With an experimental sound and low-budget production, the song went largely unnoticed and failed to make any significant impact on the charts. Released without the support of a major label, it barely had a chance to make waves, receiving little attention on streaming platforms and lacking radio play entirely. After her signing with Top Dog Entertainment, SZA started refining her sound, moving away from country's raw feel and stepping into her neo soul and R&B inspired persona. In 2017, her debut album Control became a slow-burning smash, solidifying her spot in music history, with her debut single now largely forgotten as a small step on her path to success. Madonna. The Queen of Pop wasn't always an unstoppable hitmaker. Madonna's debut single Everybody, released in 1982, didn't instantly cement her as a pop icon. Despite heavy promotion and nightclub performances, it failed to chart on the Billboard Hot 100, though it did manage to find some traction on the dance charts, where it peaked at number 3. Its modest success helped Madonna connect with a dance music crowd, but it was clear she needed something more to break into the mainstream. When Holiday followed a year later, she finally got her breakthrough, setting the stage for an unparalleled career. Everybody might not have been a massive hit, but it was the first spark of a career that would go on to redefine pop music. Which artists whose debut single flopped did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.